Greetings, citizens of So-and-so Show. Lightning Phil standing by for today's epic tale of courage, obedience, and possibly aquatic danger. Hello? Kellen? Narrator? Sidekick? Wise storyteller? Anyone?
Kellen?
Ah, Matt, thank goodness you are here.
Oh, hey, Lightning Phil. Do you want something from the break room? You want a Twizzler dog?
What on earth is a Twizzler dog?
Oh, it's a snack that I invented. You see, you take a hot dog, and then you hollow out the center, and then you put a Twizzler through it.
And you eat such a monstrous creation of outlandish cuisine?
I don't know what that means, but yeah, it's delicious. It's wonderful. And if you put nacho cheese sauce in it, chef's kiss.
Diabolical! But perhaps you can help me and our friends with something else, Citizen Matt.
Yeah, sure. What is it?
I've been awaiting to hear our Bible story for today, but it appears that no one has come to tell it. Could you tell us the story?
Me? I mean, I guess so. I don't think I'll be able to tell it as good as Kellen, but I can try it out.
Fantastic! The book is on the desk. I believe it is marked where we shall begin.
Oh, okay. It looks like this is coming from Luke chapter 5. So one day, Jesus was standing by this huge lake called the Sea of Galilee.
Ah yes, the Sea of Galilee, nature's large reflective surface for heroic poses.
Sure, yeah. He was teaching people all about what it's like to live in God's kingdom. And just like before, a big crowd started to gather around him. People really wanted to hear what Jesus had to say and wanted to see what he would do. Let's use some sound effects.
Ah, very nice, Citizen Matt.
Yes, but as more people gathered and showed up, it was harder for everyone to hear what Jesus was saying. So he came up with a plan. You know, Jesus was super smart. He always had like a really wise thing to say and so many great ideas, just like my Twizzler dog. So Jesus looked over and he saw two fishing boats that were pulled up on the shore. Nearby, some fishermen were cleaning their nets after a long night of work, and guess who was one of those fishermen?
My friend Aqualad, with the power to call fish to the surface.
Yeah.
Really?
No. It was Simon Peter. This was the same guy who had just seen Jesus heal his mother-in-law. One of those boats belonged to him.
Oh, so he already knew Jesus wasn't just a carpenter with good stories.
Exactly. So Jesus climbed into Simon Peter's boat, and then he asked him to push out a little bit from shore. Sorry.
A floating pulpit. Tactical sound amplification.
Right, because the water would help carry Jesus' voice, kind of like a microphone. So everyone on shore could hear him better. But once they were out there on the water, Jesus started teaching again. Jesus said, I must announce the good news of God's kingdom. And he didn't just talk about it, he showed it. After he finished teaching the crowd, he turned to Simon Peter and he said something unexpected. He said, go out into the deep water, let down your nets, and catch some fish.
Because we are going to have a sushi party.
Oh, speaking of which, another one of my culinary inventions. Would you like some pocket sushi?
I fear I would receive boundless food poisoning.
Hey, it's your loss. So, these fishermen were cleaning their nets because they had just spent the whole entire night fishing. And guess what?
No fish?
Not a single one.
Aquatic betrayal!
Yeah, so put yourself in Simon Peter's shoes. You're tired, you've worked all night, you know the fish aren't there. It's kind of like when your parents want you to try a food again that you've already decided is gross.
Pocket sushi.
So when Jesus told Simon Peter to head back out and drop the nets again, it probably felt like a huge waste of time. And Simon Peter could have had every reason to say, oh, no thanks, I already tried. But instead, he remembered what he had seen Jesus do. He had watched him heal. He'd seen God's power. And even though it didn't make any sense, Simon chose to trust and obey. He said this, Master, we have worked all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets.
That's obedience right there. Confused obedience, but still obedience.
So they went back. They let down the nets. They were probably thinking, this won't work, but okay. And then they caught some fish. then more fish, then a ton of fish, then too much fish.
Emergency levels of fish.
There were so many fish. The nets, they started to break. They were pulling the nets in. Come on, Peter. They kept going. There was so much potential pocket sushi. They were gonna be rich. But then the nets, it was too much. Oh!
Man overboard.
But they had to call their friends from the other boats. And then even then, the boats started to sink.
This is not a drill. This is a fish-pocalypse.
1 minute, no fish, and then the next, there were so many fish that they were about to go under. Whew. Jesus, he didn't just meet their expectations, he blew them out of the water, almost literally. And then when Simon Peter saw this miracle, nets breaking, boats sinking, he dropped to his knees in front of Jesus and he said this, "Go away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man."
He realized Jesus was God and suddenly felt very small, humbled.
Yeah, Simon Peter believed Jesus was God and thought he wasn't good enough to be around him. But Jesus wasn't pushing him away. Listen to this. Jesus said, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people."
A new mission, a new purpose.
And so they pulled their boats up to shore. They left everything and they followed Jesus.
So the lesson is, when Jesus calls, you follow, even if it doesn't make sense.
Exactly. You trust him, you obey him, because he knows what he's doing, even when we don't.
Thank you, Citizen Matt, for telling us that story. I enjoyed it immensely. I found it super.
Hey, you're welcome, Lightning Phil.
How long have those been in your pocket?
Since I put these pants on, like 3 days ago, I think. It's tangy.